Hello everyone! This is Korith Landwalker, and this afternoon we're going to be spending a couple of hours in Star Citizen. Hey Cap, how are you doing today? Hope everything's going fine with you this afternoon, or morning, depending on whatever time zone you may happen to be in. I suppose for some time zones it could be evening, but I'm pretty sure I don't have that wide an audience. I am not standing here in the public test universe. So let's get that out of the way right away for anybody who's thinking that they might be able to see some of the new combat model, or the Taurus, or even Orison. There are bigger and better streamers handling all of that far better than I could right now. Instead, we are still here in what we laughingly refer to as live, the live persistent universe. And this afternoon, we are going to be indulging in a new ship of sorts. Allow me to go into further detail. I am presently standing here in the habitation units at the planet of Arcor, in the city, if you can call it that, of Area 18. Arcor is not exactly what you would call fabulous in the naming department. In fact, I would say that they kind of suck. Area 10, Area 12, Area 17, Area 18. This is not a naming standard that makes me think, wow, what an interesting place to visit. It is an interesting place to visit, but nevertheless. We are here at the Adira Falls Apartments. I knew that was the name, I just couldn't get it out of my head. Now, what we're doing here at Arcor, of all places, is basically to stop over at a shop. A very specific shop. It does require me to wander around the city, or at least the Metro Arcor Plaza, not Metro Plaza. I'm getting it confused with other locations. And we're going to take a bit of a U-turn into here. You know, one of these days they're going to sell stuff at these newsstands. I just know it. Today ain't that day. We are heading over to the store over here. The Astro Armada. Ooh, low flying bus. Don't jump up and down. When I said I was going to be flying a new ship, I was not kidding. We are talking brand spanking new, for me at any rate. Now over here at these terminals, we are going to do, you'll notice that I'm sitting here on roughly 4.5 million AUEC. That's a decent amount of cash to work with, I think. I'm about to spend almost all of it. You see, today, as you may have guessed from the title of the stream, we are going to be flying the Anvil Valkyrie. I had my eye on this ship for a long time. The problem is I would never pledge for it because I can't see myself using it on a regular basis. But I'm more than happy to throw credits at it. Yeah, it's a great ship. And we're going to be giving it we're going to put it through a little bit of its paces. First, however, I'm going to go in, well actually, yeah, first we're going to take a look at its general specs by use of the Vehicle Loadout Manager. It's probably still trying to sort through my list because it's trying to figure, oh wait, there's a new ship to put in here. There we go. Anvil Valkyrie. Now, it's got a garbage quantum drive to start with. Big shock there, right? We're going to slap in my cross field so I can at least go a little faster. For its equipment, It's predominantly size 2, including 2 size 2 shields. I don't believe I have any good shields that are currently available. No worries. Weapons, however, are where things get very interesting. We have multiple turrets all over the place. Right wing, pilot guns, left wing. We've got some manned turrets. We got all the guns. Hey, Legend, how are you doing today? Hope everything's going fine on your side of the monitor. I have literally just picked up here at Astro Armada an Anvil Valkyrie. There's also paint jobs that can go with it, but I'm a little cash poor right now. Clearly, I'm going to have to earn some more money. That should not be too hard. Now that we've seen the basic stats, we're going to hop out of Astro Armada. We're going to hop out of Astro Armada when I point to the right direction to the exit, as opposed to, hey, why is there nothing on this side of the wall? And we are going to take off in the Valkyrie and head into adventure. Not until the next patch drops, then money-making could become a challenge. Yeah, I'll say more about that when 3.14 lands, but as Cap points out, and I'm sure Legend will point out, combat missions are going to be very different in the coming days. And that's going to impact the amount of credits you make. At least until everybody adapts to the new model. Suffice it to say, your light fighters versus the hammerheads for ERTs probably aren't going to be as simple as they used to be. Gotta take our big floating bus. And meanwhile, let's take a quick look around at Arcor. One thing I love about these buses is they have a lot of window space. You can't really see anything on the subway at Lorville. You tend to have really limited windows, and, well, it's Lorville. But Arcor, oh, it's a very openish area. Advertisements all over the place. I've kind of compared it to Coruscant from Star Wars, but it actually kind of almost fits in cyberpunk kind of attitude when you think about it. Lots of advertisements, lots of neon light kind of things, big city. I could see this being a very big deal for cyberpunk kind of setting. Let's see, the 600i and the very high-risk targets will be the way. Well, I can live with those, although I would like to see how the Constellation Andromeda handles some of those in the new model. Because it's got comparable weaponry, and it might be, well, I don't know how the maneuverability will go, because, you know, lots of things are changing with 3.14. But, you know, when it lands, I'll be more than happy to play Mad Scientist with any and all possibilities. In fact, I expect that folks watching my stream will get a great deal of entertainment watching me explode again and again and again. Of course, that may happen today too. I can't rule that out. And I see we have one of our little display bugs happening here, where not everything has, shall we say, rendered in. There's supposed to be, you know, a hallway here, but there's not. And the last time I jumped through an open hallway like this, I fell to the center of Arcor in a horrible screaming death. Seeing the Lovecraftian nightmare that lurks in the center of Arcor. But luckily I see everything is rendered in now, so we will not have to experience that nightmare. Probably going to an August stream before I get to show viewers of 3.14. Yeah, I think you're right too, because I'd predicted that we would see 3.14 land in mid-July, and I will be surprised if we hit early August at this stage. But I've found that it is not wise to make any long-term predictions in this game, because they will usually be wrong. at least my predictions will be wrong. So, Anvil Valkyrie. You'll see here that it is listed as a dropship. There are 2 starships in the game right now that, okay, technically 3, but I really don't count the Vanguard Hoplite. For it to be a dropship, I demand serious capacity for passengers, armed passengers. And I wasn't paying that close attention to hangar 4. There are 2 other dropships in the game aside from that. The Valkyrie, and the Asperia Prowler. The Prowler is kind of marketed as a stealth dropship. There is nothing about the Valkyrie that is stealth. Yeah, Wave 1 PTU that has not been great. I understand they've also slapped for testing, Xenothreat 2.0, and apparently, from what I've been reading, it has not gone very well. But you know, it's early PTU, these things happen, which is another reason why I don't tend to bother going into the public test universe. The other reason, of course, being the fact that I don't really have extra hard drive space on an SSD to handle it. Sooner or later, I'll probably pick another SSD up, but it's not exactly a priority. You can see that the Valkyrie here is a fairly beefy-looking ship. Like I said, Prowler, stealth dropship. Valkyrie, not stealth dropship. Completely broke the PTU servers. Yeah, that's a problem. But you know, it's good that they find that out on the public test servers, as opposed to, say, I don't know, live. Our major entry into the Valkyrie is through back hatch, which is big enough to handle a number of vehicles. I think you can, yeah, I'm pretty sure you can fit a rover in here. You might even be able to fit 2 side by side. I'm not 100% sure on that. Might be worth testing. We can certainly handle multiple cyclones. Now, see, we've got an upper and lower deck in here. We'll take a... Well, actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up to the upper deck first. So we're going to take off and... Actually, now that I think about it, I better get the spacesuit on. Because as I recall correctly, accidents happen... Currently, there's a bug where if you're in the pilot seat, your oxygen starts dropping. And I'm not sure I want to test out what happens if I sit in the cockpit without oxygen. That would be bad. So we're going to equip our undersuit here. Oh, I'm getting spam. Let's get rid of the spam. There we go. GCS undersuit? No, I want the Arctic. There we go. As soon as I set up affiliate, everyone's going to tip you enough for their SSD and guilt me into installing it for some PTU streams. Well, you know, there's another good reason. I'll tip enough for someone to install for me. Oh, you know, there's another good reason for me to hold off on pulling that trigger. Okay, now that I'm suited up, we're going to go up the ladder. No elevator in the Valkyrie. It's all muscle. You go up or down by your own arms and legs. And up front here, we are going to go into the cockpit. Single seat pilot. Don't have to worry about co-pilots. It's you or it's nobody. Okay, technically it's you or anybody else you happen to have on board who can fly. MFDs are solid. We've got no less than 6 MFDs, which always makes me happy. I like having more of these than less. And we are going to take off. Let's go into our third-person view for a moment so we can take a little bit more of a bird's eye view of the Valk. Like I said, this is a beefy-looking ship. Let's make sure that my good, I'm centered up here. I'd hate to tilt myself when I'm taking off. Doors are open, so let us rise. Bring up the landing gear, and we are executing VTOL engines so we can rotate them for horizontal thrust. Two complaints with the Valkyrie are the lack of separated area from living to cargo, and the unsecured cargo, which limits it to 30 standard cargo units. Love to be a mini hauler. Yeah, it does seem kind of unusual about the cargo unit stuff. And that's kind of a hazard with the way the game's put together. You have all that open space, but strangely, you can't fill it to the brim with cargo. There's some rationale behind it that I don't actually recall right now. But it does seem kind of strange to have all that space and not be able to throw stuff onto it. We're cruising along a little short of 156 meters a second. That's pretty close to what's a SEM speed, I think. So speed is not bad for a ship of its size. Over on the right-hand MFD, you'll notice that we have no missiles on here. A missile boat, this is not. 600I has same cargo issues. Well, you have to keep in mind here, Legend, that 600I has two different variants. One of them can handle cargo, and one of them cannot. The exploration variant is capable of holding cargo and a vehicle. Well, I guess that's more along the lines of or vehicle. But the touring variant, not so much. Okay, we're going to bop ourselves to an orbital marker or something like that, so I can take the interior tour. No, we're not going to go to Baijini. That could have unintended consequences later. Well, you know what? We'll just pop over to... Oh, not Microtech. Where's one of my moons? Oh, there's an orbital marker. Back. Yeah, sooner or later one hopes that they'll do a pass on the cargo units, but who knows? Alright, now that we're sitting here in the middle of nowhere, let's take a look at what the Valkyrie has to offer. Obviously, we've got our cockpit flight deck thing. Over to the sides here, we have two gunnery stations, which operate the side remote turrets. Over here, we've got some beds. Well, we have one bed. What do we have over here? This is probably an engineering station. No, it's the bathroom. I should have realized that. Yeah, even the exploration variant can't handle much. Yeah, it does seem undersupplied. I got nothing on that one. So you've got your one bed, you've got your bathroom, and I guess that's the pilot seat bed, but we also have a couple bunks here for some of your gunners, and a couple more bunks for your other gunners. Speaking of gunners, we have the upper turret. And that is pretty much the entire upper level of the Valkyrie. Oh, I guess we have a food dispenser here too. Yeah, crew food access. That's a good clue. So let's head back downstairs. Some might call it an engineering station. Some of my best thoughts happen in that room. Really? Are you talking their real life thoughts? Or are you talking in-game thoughts? Because, you know, one of these is more problematic than the other. I always think of it as the throne room. Now, as previously mentioned, this is the cargo deck, which doesn't hold nearly as much cargo as it looks like it should hold. We might go into more detail about that later. Over to the sides here, we have... I want to say that these are supposed to be storage lockers, but they don't seem to be operational. Maybe when physicalized inventory happens. Yeah, locker. Yeah, that's as good a clue as any. On either side, we have these doors, and past these doors... Well, I did say this was a dropship, didn't I? Here's the seating. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 seats here, and there's another 10 on the other side. If we go further back, you have the access to your bottom turret. So there it is, 4 turrets all told. Let's hop through the other side here. There's our other 10 seats. And these seats are usable. So when you're ready to go on deployment, you're here, you sit tight until it's ready to wreak merry havoc. Now, I want to say... Let me open this up for a second here. I feel like that there should be weapon racks. And I don't know if these side areas are racks or not. They are not. You would think that there would be a place to store weapon racks on the Valkyrie, and I'm kind of surprised not to see any. You would think that these areas might qualify. Well, again, maybe physicalized inventory will do something, maybe not. There's space for one rifle. What? Where? It's right next to the seats. I don't know, I didn't see anything here that I could interact with. Unless you just meet... Well, let's see. Pull out my gun again. Can't interact with that one. Can't interact with that one. That's the right spot. Think it used to work, but doesn't anymore. Well, thank you. That, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Star Citizen. Where things will never always work the way you want them to. Maybe with 3.14 they'll work again. Yeah, it makes sense that they would be the ones right next to the seats. Then you would just, get up, grab your gun, and go. It makes sense. But they not working now, are they? So, we'll see what happens. Now, you may have noticed when I was over here, I could open this door. So you can either deploy through the rear ramp, or you can jump out of here. But here's the thing I love. Over here, you've got a heavy machine gun that you can deploy. So you can cover the people who are going out of your ship and just have a party. Kick that power on and just blow them away. So you've got fire support for the troops you're dropping off. I wholeheartedly approve of that capability. If there was one thing that really sold me on the Valkyrie being an awesome dropship, it's that. Not only can you carry a good amount of troops, but you can also help ensure that they don't die the moment they jump out. That is a dropship. Okay. Now that we've seen the interior and gotten some idea of the fun things that can happen around it, we're going to take a quick stop at one of the moons of our core, and we're going to test I guess supply capacity, perhaps would be a better word. So let's see. I think Sal 2 is the way to go here. Is there a Sal 4? I want to say Sal 4 was a decent one. But there's so many similarly named locations here that it could really go either way. Nah, you know what? I'm sticking with what I got. If I'm lucky, there will be a vehicle retrieval terminal, and we can see exactly what we can fit in the back end of the Valkyrie. You will never know how close I came to putting on, for background music, the Wagner's Ride the Valkyries composition. But, you know, I worry about those morons at the DMCA getting involved. Even though the music is technically public domain, apparently recordings of it are not, which makes absolutely no sense to me whatsoever. So, you know, it is what it is. I decided that I really don't want to fight Twitch on it, so I just not gonna bother with it. Just hum along at some point if you feel the urge. Decent visibility underneath too, actually. Window by the feet. Handy when you're trying to check where the front end is when you're landing. And naturally, we're on the dark side of the moon. Now, I did mention that there were some pilot guns. Pretty much Gatlings. I'm pretty sure these are size... Well, what size are they? Scorpion 215, so I want to say they're size 2s, but I can't prove it yet. Let's hop inside and take a look. Scorpies. Size 2s. Once in a while, it's good to be right. It sounds right. Okay, let's see. Where is my target landing site? I'm a little off on my angle of approach. That's why I don't see it. We're moving at a leisurely 163, so it looks like 163 is the SCM speed for the Valkyrie. None of the guns are overpowering, clearly meant as a landing defense rather than a starship fighter. I am inclined to agree with that. That said, well, gee, they make my life miserable in bounty hunting fights. I kind of want to put the shoe on the other foot. Not on a HRT or anything like that, because that would be too much. But yes, I very much want to take down some of the smaller targets. I love the number of guns on this thing. 6-player mountable positions, plus the pilot means 7 people could be shooting at once. Yeah, you're absolutely right. I don't know how much good the machine guns would be doing from the side doors, but the turrets, yeah, I see it. I can see it. And if you're using it for what it's designed for, I could see good times.
Landing gear deployed.
Speaking of good times, it's time to go in for a landing. Crop the VTOL. Try to get a little closer. Collision alert's not good. I mean, I'm fine. I don't know what I was worried about. So we are landed. Let's step outside and open up the ramp and let's see what we've got to work with around here. Who needs a ladder? Oh, that can't be good. Okay, it's not bouncing anymore. Don't have to panic. Oh, the sun's coming out. I hope that means the sun's coming out as opposed to sun setting, because it's so much better to walk around in the daylight. And I can see by the blinking blue light in the horizon that, yes, there is a Platinum Bay here. Because the Platinum Bay folks who operate the vehicle retrieval terminals are very uniquely situated with a blue building and light. Okay, technically it's a white building with blue outline, but hey, work with me. So let's hop inside and see what vehicles I've got available to stuff in there. Now, obviously, the ballista is right out. Far too big. Ursa Rover, though, that one might have legs. Platinum Bay 01, and there it is. Nice and weighty. What I would like to see is whether or not I can fit 2 rover-sized vehicles in the Valkyrie. I know one will fit. But can 2? That's a harder thing. However, I don't have 2 Ursa rovers, so I have to make do with 1 Ursa rover and 1 Grey Cat Rock, which is roughly the same size. Could be a 2-8. We're all about the mad science. But if you can get 2 rovers working in there, that would be a substantial force multiplier for any assault force that is being deployed through the Valkyrie. Oh, that's actually a real rock. Let's not go that way. No, no, no. Turn the wheels a little tighter. Thank you. Ah, brakes, brakes! On the other hand, it did get me on the pad, so I'm not going to complain. Let's try and jam a Nova tank in there. No, 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 no. There are 2 essential problems with that strategy. 1, the tank's about the same size as the ballista. We already know the ballista's not going to fly here as far as that goes. 2, and this is more important, I don't actually have a Nova tank. Now, I've heard rumors that the Nova tank will be available for in-game purchase with 3.14. I don't know that for a fact. You know what? We are definitely not fitting more than 1 rover in here. I seem to have overestimated the size of that bay and underestimated the size of the rover. Still, you gotta admit, it would still be a substantial force multiplier for this situation. Let's step outside and see what kind of clearance we have. What's your clearance, Clarence? Plenty of room here in the back. More than enough room for you to back up substantially more, in fact. I still don't think... Oh no, now I'm thinking. Another gun mount position to shoot out the back. You're pretty much right on that one. You know what I'm going to try to do? I'm going to back this up a little further. Because while you can't put 2 Ursas side by side, I wonder if you can get them front and back. We're going to increase our insanity here. Readjust the angle on here. I need to have a decent idea of where my back end is. But I don't think I'm going to get a decent idea because I only have so much camera angles to work with. Oh, no. That's going to be a problem. There's an overhang that I think is going to cause a problem. Okay, I'm as far back as I'm going to get. Now let's see if we can determine how much space we have in front. Well, also how much space we have in the back. Well, in the back we still have plenty of space, which means you don't have to worry about blocking off the pilot's access or anything like that. I don't think we're going to be able to... We're certainly not going to fit another rover in here. I do think that this would be enough to fit 2 Cyclones, though. I don't think we'd be able to get them side by side, but we'd be able to get them front and back. So if you were to have a Cyclone TR or MT, we can fit a Grey Cat buggy in here without a problem, but I don't think we'll be able to fit a Grey Cat buggy in addition to the Ursa. On the other hand, it's mad science. Let's see what happens. Why let sanity get in the way of experimentation? The real nice thing about doing this kind of stuff on these landing pads is these landing pads don't complain if you're sitting there for an extended period of time. Now, granted, players might complain about you sitting there for an extended period. Is I getting a message from Platinum Bay? Could have sworn I heard someone saying something there. In any event, the landing pads, players might have objections if they're going to carry a haul. But trading is kind of in a downturn right now, so I'm not too concerned about a trader coming by and complaining that my ship is taking up space. Plus, I landed in one of the small spots, so it shouldn't be a problem. Grey Cat. Ah! It's currently at Area 18. Why are you at Area 18? I mean, where is there to drive in Area 18? Oh, yeah, file claim. Duh. The good news is it's only 28 seconds, so I don't really feel motivated to expedite this. I think I can handle a 30-second wait. Watch that clock tick down. 10. 5. And go. Grey Cat Rock incoming. Oh, it occurs to me that maybe Cap was actually talking about the actual tiny buggy, which would certainly fit. Probably by 3s and 4s. You know, this is what happens when I don't process the entire statement through my brain. I saw Grey Cat and I automatically thought rock. I keep forgetting that Grey Cat made its name off of a different vehicle, which was much tinier and certainly most affordable. But it wouldn't nearly be as fun and crazy as this. Besides, the Grey Cat buggy doesn't actually have any weaponry. Of course, technically speaking, neither does this. So let's see if I can get over to where I need to go without doing something crazy like overturning the vehicle. Oops. Ooh, down the walkway, spinning out of control. Yeah, it occurs to me that I'm driving like a maniac on top of ice. Maybe I should be a little less crazy about this. Alright. Yeah, that's not gonna fit right. Of course, because insanity is my middle name. I refuse to give up completely. We are loaded, ladies and gentlemen, 2 rovers. Oh, but this would be a pain in the royal tuchus, and God only knows what kind of rolling around it might do. But from a raw technical standpoint, I have 2 rover-sized vehicles in the cargo bay. Because we're all about the crazy here. Alright. Time for our next stop. Hurston.
Takeoff complete.
I feel like I should have... there we go. Had a little bit too much moisture on my view screen there. Like a glove. Like a poorly fitting glove. A size too small. I don't even want to think about what would happen if I tried storing the vehicle. Now, I'd love to be able to start walking around the quantum travel and all that, but there's a bug that's currently on live where any equipment you might be carrying that involves weapon magazines or something like that might decide to do something weird and spawn underneath you, and then everywhere you walk you'll be hearing loud clattering noises, and as certain individuals could tell you, might actually be capable of destroying any ship whose ramp you are going upon. Crazy but true. I have no idea if they fixed that in 3.14. I surely hope they did. I mean, I know they're aware of it. I just don't know if they fixed it. For that reason, I tend to just sit tight in the pilot seat now. So far, the rock is not falling out the back end, so I want to consider that a complete win. Now, as you may have seen when I was purchasing this, this was retailing in at around 4.5 million credits. That's a respectable number for a ship of its size. When you start looking at larger ships like Carrack's or 600 Eyes, you start jumping into the double digits when it comes to millions. So keep that in mind. You know, I wonder how much the 600i exploration variant is. Just idle curiosity. Yeah, I was just thinking that right there. How much is the 600i in game? I really don't know offhand. In fact, I'm not even sure which location. I would think that New Deal would be the place, but it might not be. It might have been Oscar Armada. Unfortunately, the site that I usually rely on to tell me these things, the Universal Item Finder, whatever it's called, the site's been down over the last few days. I'm not sure what's going on with it, or if we can ever see it again. Okay, let's think violently. Okay, let's not think violently. Are you really telling me that this is the only bounty hunting mission in Hurston right now? Okay, well, how about I try something a little different? Let's try one of these illegal surveillances. It won't have any ships firing back at me. 9 million? Ah, yeah, there's a link protection thing on here. Give me a second here. Let me see if I can get this to work. I have no idea if this is going to work because I've never actually done that. Okay, try your link now, Cap. If I did this right, which is always an open question, you should be able to paste that link now. There you go. Urkel, putting it at 9.4 mil. Okay, well that's a reasonable number. Is that the exploration variant or the touring variant? That's right, we don't ask some easy questions here. Touring variant. Well, the one I'd be interested in would be the exploration variant. Ah, yeah, that is the exploration variant. Okay. Touring variant is probably less, so I'm pretty sure it's less. Really? Touring's 9.8 million. I did not see that coming. Still, that feels like a nice goal for a future purchase. Yeah, that's why I kind of got thrown by that. If you go to the pledge store when they're on sale on the pledge store, the touring is cheaper than the exploration. But that's apparently not the case here. Let's see. Okay, that's one of the targets. That's good, but that's not real good because I want to know where the other one is. I want to have an idea of where at least 2 of my targets are before I start blowing them up. Of course, it would help if I had forward acceleration, right? No, I think you're right too. I was looking on the wiki a while back, and that's what I came up with my numbers. Ah, the second one. We're going to take out number 2 before I take out number 1. Yeah, as far as doing missions, this is kind of a cheapo one. It's paying me 20k for basically nothing. Oh, there we are. Lag. I should probably fly a little faster, but I don't want to overshoot it. Oh, well, that's interesting. That is not where I expected it to be. But I refuse to argue. Let's get ourselves a little closer, then we'll see if those size 2 guns are capable of taking these guys up. Exploration is running north of 3 bills on Gray Market with LTI. These guns here are gimbaled, so they will tend to adjust themselves to the target.
Target destroyed.
Bye-bye. Now, the other one. Okay, well, you know what? We're going to go after the one that's over here. And then we'll go after that last one, the nice leisurely pace. It looks like we're going to be able to nail down all 3 of these monitors pretty quickly. I just have to close distance. And the best thing about these satellites, they don't fire back.
Target destroyed.
leaving us to close in on the last monitor. Now, hopefully, once this is blown up, maybe I'll have some actual legitimate bounties showing up on the board, and then we can really put this through its paces. Again, we're not going to be trying any high-risk threats because I'm dealing with size 2 weapons, 2 size 2 weapons here. If this were a fully crewed Valkyrie, then the higher ones would be reasonable because you'd have more ammo being focused on targets at once. But if you're a solo flyer, 2 size 2 guns are not going to cut it. Even if they're ballistics. Okay, that did not blow up like I was hoping it would. I'm glad I decided to start moving before it got too late. That could have gotten awfully embarrassing very quickly. Oops. Okay, mild planting blow, but nothing seems to have been majorly damaged. So much for that illegal surveillance, you evil people. Okay, now we have a much better group of bounty targets. And what we're going to do is we're going to grab this group warrant for medium risk targets. I think that will give us a pretty good indicator of whether or not this is handling... Ooh, hostiles. Really? They're gonna attack me in a prospector? Alright, boys, you want to play it that way? Well, you know what? I don't actually care about him. If he gets in range before I can set up my target here, fine. But otherwise, I'm just going to jump out and say, bleh on you, because... Oh, before I forget. Always, 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 always grab call to arms. Never pass up free money. Yeah, I have a feeling, based on what I'm hearing, the 600i is going to be suddenly becoming a very popular ship with 3.14. It's a good thing that supply and demand hasn't affected the ship shops yet. Otherwise, things could start getting really inconvenient. Once we take out this bounty, I think our next step is going to be hitting one of the moons of Hurston, offloading my vehicles, and we'll see what happens when we fill up with cargo. Because I want to get a good view as to how much cargo space is actually being utilized. So that way we can make fun of the fact that it's not utilizing it all properly. First, though, must kill Bounty. And Bounty apparently doesn't want to be killed because Bounty is not here yet. What I could end up doing here is just drive the rocket rover off and just leave them out here in the middle of space. I have done crazy things like that before. Go to Kamare failed. What are you talking about? I succeeded in that mission. I got paid for that mission. What are you people talking about? Oh, that's why this is an alpha. Weird things happen. Oh, oh. Target acquired. Flying a Drake Buccaneer. Ah. I will never get tired of blowing up garbage starships. Of course, it's a well-armed garbage starship, but you know, details. thankful that I'm not fully crewed, or otherwise you'd be history. The weapons are doing a fair amount of damage to shields. The guy's got no front shield anymore. Doesn't look like he's got back shield either. We're not looking at high maneuverability out of the Valkyrie, although it doesn't do badly. Now, keep in mind that maneuverability and all that is likely to mutate when 3.14 lands, because I understand that there's a bit of stuff happening there too. Hey, the Dalai Lama! How you doing? How's life treating you on your end of the monitor? It's going to take me a while to get used to you using that name there. We are playing around with a recent acquisition to my fleet, the Anvil Valkyrie. Picked up at the Astro Armada at ArcCorps, and now we're putting it through its paces. We've successfully, because, you know, we wanted to do it, loaded 2 rover-sized vehicles onto the Valkyrie, although one of them is, no, this is not PTU. That would require me to actually make some effort into buying a second SSD that could fit another Instant Star Citizen, and require me to be motivated enough to bother with the PTU. But on the bright side, that means that I am working in a much more stable environment than the PTU is right now. I'm more than happy to take all the new stuff when it's been, well, I'm not going to say exactly well polished, but certainly more polished. Okay, second target. This is a medium risk target. I don't think that the Valk with a single pilot, with its 2 size 2 pilot guns, are really going to be able to handle more dangerous opponents than what you would see in the medium risk threat range. But I wanted to show that it would at least handle that. So far, we've taken out a Drake Buccaneer, which, as long-time viewers will know, always makes me happy. Oh, and it's another Buccaneer. I am always happy to blow up ships that made out of Drake interplanetary junk. Alright, here we go. Bad guy flying around. And he's definitely getting his shots in. But I am getting my shots in, too. Back shield looks like it's history. Front shield is in bad shape. Him, not me. That's an important distinction. Now, another detail that's going to become apparent in a bit is the fact that I am using ballistic ammo, which means sooner or later, I'm going to run out of bullets. But not this time. One more target. Where are you hiding? Aberdeen. Oh, I'm already being targeted by somebody. But he's not showing up on the immediate radar, which means I'm probably out of range of his weapons. Oh, shouldn't have said anything. But too late, because we are on our way to Aberdeen. Famed for its horrible atmosphere and its prison. And I'm sure that those two facts are related. So, we've faced 2 Buccaneers so far. What can we expect from Target 3? Will this guy be flying another Buccaneer? Or will we be seeing something more interesting? I'm half predicting it'll be a Cutlass Black. which I will concede is another favorite target of mine. Drake, of course. Getting closer. I'm not really pushing my speed all that hard. I'm doing 450 meters a second. I could go faster, but I try to keep in mind the fact that sooner or later I'm going to want to hit the brakes. And we are not exactly looking at a graceful ballet dancer at speed here. $16, $15, and whoever it is has already got me targeted. Which makes sense, actually, because I'm always having people showing up on my radar if they're flying Valkyries at that distance. So that's not really unusual.
Okay.
Aegis Gladius Valiant. Okay, well, we have a fighter here. That has its good and bad points. The bad point is it's a fighter, more military, more dangerous. On the other hand, it's also smaller, which means size 2 guns are going to really wreck its day.
Shields hit.
Oh, you look hurt, but not hurt enough. Come through the shields. Damage his front, but he's still flying. Damaging his body. I like where the MFDs are displayed on here because I can see the damage on the MFD a lot better than I can see it on the visor on the upper right. So I have a better idea of how effective my fire is on them.
Target destroyed.
Oops! Yeah, smacked into the wreckage. That was a whoops. Let's see, another should I? I should. Let's take out these. Oh, Cutlass Black. Okay, I can't pass that up. Although we've got another guy who's a lot closer. Let's take him out first. A Hornet. Okay, Hornets are potentially dangerous.
Shields hit.
Oh, I'm taking hits. Oh, no, that's not as... Every time that happens, I think I've destroyed a Hornet. It's usually because something else has been blown off of it. And I'm fooled every time, even though I should know better by now. Still kicking. Good heavens, what has he got on there? There we go. Like, what do they throw on those things? Okay, now one of my favorite targets, the Cutlass Black. Watching these explode always makes my heart happy. It's a medium-sized ship, though, so it's going to take a lot more punishment. Hopefully I will not run out of ammo before I run out of body. The good news is that ballistics do tend to have a little bit of a punch beyond the shield. Some of it will go through the shield. So even if the shields are pretty strong, I'm still doing something. Now, whether or not I'm doing anything meaningful is still an open question. Ooh. Got a little too close on that one. I am doing damage. I can see the damage space on his on the MFD there. Oops. Yeah, we're doing some good damage here. All I gotta do is just make sure that the ballistics don't run out before he does.
Shields hit.
Oh yeah, taking lots of damage now. It will not be long. Oh, but I'm taking damage too, apparently, if I'm getting torque imbalances.
Target destroyed.
Target destroyed. Okay, let's see. That doesn't look like I want to go there, because that's, yeah, that's Klesher. Going to Klesher is not a good thing. Norgard, on the other hand. We're going to go and set this thing down. Yeah, it doesn't look like we have a whole lot in the way of visible damage. In fact, I'm having a hard time figuring out where the torque imbalance could be coming from, because the engines all look okay. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to offload those vehicles. And then we're going to see about cargo. But to do that, got to get to a place that sells cargo stuff, and Norgard should do it. Presuming I'm pointing in the right direction. Good. Yeah, the atmosphere is so ugly here that, you know, visibility absolutely stinks. Welcome to Aberdeen. Where you could be flying right towards a mountain and not know it until you're practically on top of it. Still can't see anything. I should be pointed right at the outpost, but I still have no visibility on it. Of course, I'm still 2,800 meters above the surface, so maybe I should not expect too much on that. 2 kilometers and dropping. I can see shapes on the ground now, which is good. And there it is. In fact, there it is so far that I maybe want to level myself out of it. We'll drop our landing gear and come in for the approach.
Landing gear deployed.
Level out, level out, level out. Drop the VTOLs. Make ruthless abuse of the, oops, well, I didn't want to do that, but I'll do it anyway. And set down.
Engines offline.
Alright, now for those who were not here earlier, I've slapped a couple rover-sized vehicles in here. Although, we kind of cut it close. Boy, those tires look messed up. As you can see, it was a little bit of a tight fit for the Grey Cat rock in here. Oh, thank God. For a minute there, I thought it busted the ramp. Where it wouldn't open anymore. That would have been inconvenient. Oh yeah. The other problem with Aberdeen is that, from an environmental standpoint, this is a bad, bad, bad place to be. Very hot. I don't plan to stay outside very long, though. Alright, Platinum Bay, Platinum Bay, Platinum Bay. Although, you know what? I actually don't have to bother going all the way to Platinum Bay. I can just abandon them right here, because I'm probably not going to be back here, precisely. So we'll just leave the vehicles out for anybody who happens to be coming by to joyride in. Oh, jeez. I think I found out where some of the damage came from those hits. I think they got transferred all the way to the Ursa because, you know I didn't do that much damage to the Ursa under most circumstances. Ow. It's like I put it through the ringer. Then again, I did whack it with a Grey Cat Rock too, so maybe?
Welcome to Rollins Space Industries. Enjoy the ride. System check.
Okay, we'll drive this thing off.
System
And there we go. We'll leave this gift available for anyone who happens to be driving by Norgard here, that they will have a free rock and rover to mess around with. Now, we were speaking of cargo capacity, and the fact that the Valkyrie should have more than it actually does. And we're going to kind of demonstrate that right now. We're going to make use of the shipping terminal, and we'll see if there's anything worth buying here. We have 28 standard cargo units. That is, honestly, piddling. In comparison, the Freelancer has 66. So we've got a number of crates of gold. Which is highly valuable on the planet Earth, but not quite as much out in the wider universe. It's that whole supply-demand sort of thing. We're running through the weeds. So what does 28 SCU look like in a Valkyrie? This is it. Basically, they're single stacked boxes. And I'm not even sure the math works out there because... Oh, there must be... Ah, there we go. It's the other end. I was thinking that they were all nice and full in a rectangle. There's actually a hollow here. Where if you had 2 here, you would go from 28 to 30. But, I mean, take a look. I mean, you can easily imagine stacking another row of boxes on top of here. Not to mention this unaccountably empty space here. Such a waste of space. I'd like to donate some tie downs to Anvil. Yeah, you would think that this would be useful for even shipping crates of ammunition. There's no crates of ammunition you can buy in the game at the moment, but I can see that being possible further down the line. Which would come in... I would think it would really come in handy for an assault ship. You offload your troops, they do their thing, they come back, they restock their ammo, they're ready to go again. At least that's how I would imagine it. But this is what we've got. Well, you know, I don't pretend to understand half the things that go on sometimes with this game. I mean, if you wanted to do 28, you would think that they would have a better way of enforcing the 28. Because that just looks like a waste. I can fit 2 rovers in here, but God forbid I fit more than 28 standard cargo units of cargo. Well, you know, it is what it is. Since I've got the gold, I might as well go and sell it off. And I leave behind my 2 rovers.
Takeoff complete.
Who knows how long they'll be there before they despawn into non-existence. They'll just sit out there,
Raised.
caught in the wind storms and dust storms of Aberdeen. It claims 30 on the ASOP screen. Okay, that's interesting. 30 on the ASOP screen, but I only had 28 available. I suppose it's possible there was only 28 cargo units of gold, I suppose. I wasn't paying that close attention. Well, now you've gone and got me curious. But I'm not going to do it here on Aberdeen. We'll go to Bezdek and see if I can fill up 2 cargo units of Laranite. I think that would be just about the full supply available on Ariel right now. Yeah, those 2 missing boxes bugged me, and it's perfectly possible that there was only 28 units of gold. I would think that gold wouldn't be that much of a problem. I mean, it's not like it's one of the big number goods over at any of these outposts. And I can't see people using Aberdeen as one of their major trade routes. But I have, on 1 or 2 occasions, been wrong. It happens. So we're going to hop out and see if. Oh, I guess there is one other possibility too. I didn't think it would be a possibility. I find it's probably unlikely, but it's also possible that maybe I've taken some damage that has removed the use of 2 of my cargo units. So maybe I should repair once I've landed. Seems unlikely that would be the case, but well, this is Star Citizen, and weird things happen. And maybe I can get rid of that major torque imbalance while I'm thinking about it. Come on, let me see man-made structures. Those are not man-made structures. I think I'm tilting down. I am tilting down. Let's level out before I become a smear. And I am off course. Alright, new landing pad.
Landing gear deployed.
Whoa, what was that? Did you hear that? Sounded like something just went boom somewhere. I sure hope it wasn't something important. Ah! No, 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 no. Not the kind of landing I wanted. Let's lift. And down.
Landing complete.
You heard it, but don't know where it was coming from. Yeah, I got no idea either. Sure feels like a good time to repair, restock, and refuel. And while that's rolling, time to find out if I can cram another 2 standard cargo units in here. I meant to jump down. Now, Ariel is a much nicer environment than Aberdeen. I mean, it's not great, it's still hot, but I'm not going to instantly die out here. Alright, let's see if I can cram 2 more cargo units of material. Now that I've done my repairs. No, it still says 28 out of 28. 0 cargo, empty cargo space. I don't have an explanation here. If there's supposed to be 30, then it's doing a very good job on hiding. You know what? No. I was getting ready to say, maybe I should see if I can sell my gold here. But I don't think I can actually sell the gold here. You can sell some goods here. Well, you can sell some goods at some outposts. But I'm pretty sure I can't sell the gold here. But just for the giggles, let's find out if I can. Nope. Didn't think so. We'll have to go all the way back. Take my Valkyrie back to the dealer. Yeah, hey Astro Armada, you shorted me 2 standard cargo units of space. I think I've been scammed. And it'll probably come right back around and say, what do you expect for only 4.5 million anyway? I could have gotten a perfectly good freelancer at that price. All right. To Hurston we shall go.
Hydrogen fuel is at 100%.
Ah, yes, 100%.
Engines offline.
Oh, I never turned the engines off. How embarrassing.
Engines online. Takeoff complete.
And up we go.
Landing gear raised.
Pull that out, and we will point to Hurston and the capital city, for lack of a better phrase, of Lorville. Of course, step 1 is I have to get out of what passes for an atmosphere here at Ariel. There we go. Now, ships like the Valkyrie and the Prowler are going to probably come into their own when the theaters of war come into play. Supposedly, that's going to be a module similar to Arena Commander or Star Marine, which is going to be a mixed combat sort of scenario where you have spacecraft and ground troops working in conjunction. Dropships would seem to be a fairly important aspect for that sort of thing. Now, you would also expect that someday missions will have that kind of thing in-game as well. You have contracts for groups or orgs that may incorporate that kind of play. In fact, there are some orgs out there that are very military styled, which make their own content, where they have half their org doing a defense and half their org doing an offense. And ships like Prowlers and Valkyries are key figures in those kind of events. So, that's just a small indicator of what the Valkyrie is capable of doing when performing its role. Honestly, I could even see a situation where you have almost like a cargo mission where you have to take contract just like any other contract in the game, except instead of taking cargo, you'll take AI NPCs as cargo, where they'd sit in your drop ship seats, and you deliver them to a location. That's probably not on the radar, but I think it would be pretty cool. Of course, that would also require a number of other things to start working too, like AI. I mean, right now, you can't get the AI to sit in their chairs on a regular basis. Having them sit on a dropship seat, optimism is not warranted. We will drop our landing gear and come in for the approach.
Landing gear deployed.
Lorville makes use of vertical landing bays. And sometimes they are a very tight fit. Okay, let's see if I can drop in. Oh, that worked a lot better than I thought it was going to.
Landing complete.
Landing complete.
Engines offline. All systems offline.
And out we go. Wonder if I can... No, there's not enough space there to jump the railing. That'd be pretty entertaining, but... that way lies concussions. Oh, I see these cargo boxes are in the same kind of prop I had with the Avenger Titan last week. Where I'm basically walking through the cargo crates. I kind of wonder now if that's a bug with all the crates. I mean, I know that in the past, if you load up, say, the Freelancer, the cargo crates are very physical. You can't get through them like that. But now I'm wondering if all cargo crates are kind of bugged like that. Something to experiment on somewhere along the line. Lorville is a very industrialized city. It's definitely not cyberpunkish like Arc-Core or Area 18 to be more specific. This is more along the lines of, you can almost kind of put it similar to parts of Blade Runner. Certainly the Hurston Dynamics building kind of gives you the Blade Runner feel. I don't know if I'd call the rest of the city of Lorville remotely like that, though. It's thing kind of like a mining town writ large. I'm going to store the valve now, so I don't have to worry about hearing the loud, continual noises of, "Please move your ship. We're going to get rid of it." Zero cargo free. Before this stream is done, I'm going to take a look and see if this thing says 30 on here. I mean, yes, I could be really lazy about it. You know, just hop on the Star Citizen wiki and take a look there, but I'm really lazy. Oh, the train's still there. Can I get there before the doors close?
Person security reserves the right to
Yes,
search
I
travelers
can.
at any time.
And off we go.
Next stop, Central Station.
I spoke earlier about how I love the buses at ArcCorp for their visibility. And at the same time, I mentioned the fact that the trains at Lorville were 10 times worse. And this is why. You got all these buildings on either side of the tracks that obscure your view, and you have no ceiling view at all. Not to mention that being Lorville, the windows are often, well, smudged is probably the kind way of putting it. Let's just say that Lorville is a fairly highly polluted kind of area. Smog is a real thing here. Oh, that's interesting. They're doing a ship show over at Microtech. That usually means there's about to be a 30K. Every time there's a decent ship show being organized by people, it crashes the server at some point. But you know what? SMO 18. Huh? Oh, and someone's already talking 30K. That's a bad sign. Oh, I hate being right. If I'm lucky, I can get this stuff sold before I get there. But I think that I might try to go there in the Valkyrie.
Reminder, employees are not allowed to access executive areas without
But we've got a few important steps in the way first. Step 1, gotta sell off the cargo. Step 2, I've got to successfully get there. I'm not convinced that step 2 will happen. Here's my... Oh, and here we have the list of 28 out of 30. So, for some reason, 2 standard cargo units are not playing nicely. I think that was rude. And here I am selling my gold for a massive 2,000 UEC profit. Well, you know, it's not a cargo vessel. I knew that 28 sounded like an odd number, and the way that everything was stacked seemed odd. Well, you learn something new every day. Back to Tisa Spaceport. Plus, if I get there, it would be a nice. I would just kind of like to see a gathering of a bunch of starships. That's all. I'm curious to see what other players. I missed the train. I'm interested in seeing what other players have there. I imagine there is quite a bit.
Now arriving from Tisa Spaceport. Stand by and let passengers disembark before boarding.
I would let the passengers disembark before boarding, but there's highly unlikely to be any passengers, so I'm not too concerned. When trading was actually viable, according to many people, this would have been a higher chance of having population aboard. But trading hasn't been what it was. Basically, you're not finding high profit on anything right now. And the things that would be high profit, supply and demand are out of whack. It is what it is. Yeah, the in-game chat is telling you right there. The dummy's guide to trading is don't do it right now. And they're not wrong. They're not wrong. At some point, it might get rebalanced. I mean, they talk about this quantum engine that's going to be controlling the supply demands kind of stuff. But it's clearly not in play right now. Now, they are kind of wrong there. You can't fill a well, to make reasonable runs. You can't fill a Connie with the good stuff, but you can certainly fill a Connie. I've done it with all sorts of combinations. Heck, I've done it with my C2 Hercules. But the profit margins, they're not great. And yeah, for 30k hits, you really get hurt. Because server crashes are unforgiving to traders. They always have been. So we have our brand new Valkyrie, so why don't we take that to the ship show and see how that flies. Huh. Selling merits 10 to 1. You know, I think I saw that guy selling them a couple days ago too. It's a small server after all. Anvil Valkyrie. Insert Jeopardy music. Still listing as 0 cargo available, which I find interesting. Of course, there's also an excellent possibility this is going to say, oh, I'm sorry, we can't find your ship right now. Try again. And it's looking like it wants to do that. Oh, nope, it's Hangar 7, thank heavens. I'd have been really annoyed if it had crashed out on me there. I wouldn't have been surprised, but I would have been annoyed. Lucky 7. I really do like the look of Valkyrie. It looks like you would expect a ship like this to look. I've heard some people compare them to some of the copters they had on the Avatar movie. That would be the James Cameron Avatar, not the Last Airbender avatars. Important distinction. I mean, I can't really argue that it does seem to have that kind of look. I don't view that as a bad thing. Power on.
Aerospace. All systems online.
You are clear to launch.
I'm cleared to launch. Just let us open the door so you don't end up causing a mess on the ceiling. Their definition of clear to launch and my definition of clear to launch are two very different things. You can say many things about Star Citizen, but you can't say it's not a pretty game. Okay, let's take a little higher angle here. I gotta get 9,000 meters up before I can quantum jump anywhere. And the Valk is not exactly what you would call highly aerodynamic. It is in many ways the opposite of aerodynamic. Okay, let's see. Microtech. And let's see. They said slow 18, didn't they? Then 13. Nope, there's 18. Oh, come on, work with me here, computer. Navigational computer occasionally likes to be a jerk. That's an unkind way of putting it, but it's true. I might have to get an orbital marker first. Take our first hop. Now let's see if I can set a course there. No, I still can't set a course there. Come on! Okay, how about microtech in general? There, and when you know it. Delay, delay, delay. I know there's going to be a 30K before I get there. Oh, somebody on the radar. Oh, they can do their thing, and I'm going to do my thing. And now, while we're in transit, maybe now I can get myself set to microtech, presuming that the map works with me here. Yeah, with all this lag and all that. Oh, I'm expecting that 30K anytime now. This server can't be lasting much longer. $13, $10, $22. Is that 18? 18. Target acquired. Journey will take us 3 minutes. That's why I threw the crossfield in there. It'll actually make the trip to microtech in a reasonable period of time. know, it's times like this where I really do regret not trying to put Ride of the Valkyries on here at the moment. It would just be so appropriate. $14 million kilometers and closing. We're knocking down roughly 100,000 kilometers a second. So we are under 2 minutes, I think, before we arrive at the coldest planet of the Stanton system, Microtech. Please note that the only capitalized letter is tech and not micro. These are the kind of things you can expect when a corporation, a mega corporation, owns the planet and uses its company name as the planetary name. 30 seconds. I may have overestimated the time left by a substantial margin. My math sucks. Nobody told me there would be math. And here we
Quantum
are.
drive is now off.
There is a cooldown, of course, because when you have a fast quantum drive, there we go. I'm having a definite delay in activating things right now, which is probably related to the fact that we have so many people over at Subin 18. For example, I've hit the button to quantum jump me, but it's not activating. Of course, that might just be the usual bug with the quantum travel. There we go. Please, please, please don't plow me through the middle of the planet.
Quantum drive is now off.
Okay. We're 32,000 kilometers away, and we're practically heading right down on top of it. If someone's talking about a mountain of a ship at Subin 18, someone must have an 890 jump down there. Unless it's a reclaimer. I can believe it being a reclaimer. I'm gonna have to be careful because I don't want to accidentally smash into the. Yeah, let's offset a little bit here. And I can see a ship's already down there. Looks like we've got a Hercules. That does look like a reclaimer. Not sure about some of the other ones. Yeah, maybe I should start slowing myself down a tad, because I don't want to kill myself here. Back elevators, click. Yep, it's a reclaimer. Someone's talking about reclaimers. You know what? I think that's another Valkyrie down there. Or that landing pad. It's important to have these things distinguished. Let's level ourselves out. looks like we might have some small ships down there too that I can't get a good read on. Or maybe it's just offset with the indicators.
Landing gear deployed. Landing complete.
And it looks like it's a little snowy here.
Engines offline.
Okay, let's just see what ships they've got out there. And we'll leave the ship open here in case someone wants to, you know, take a look around in here. Now, over the left here is the arguably most massive starship in the game, the Reclaimer. The Reclaimer is a heavy salvage ship, and sadly, the salvage ship is lacking in its primary utility. In other words, salvaging is not yet in the game. But it is a huge ship. It is not as long, perhaps, as the 890, but it's got mass. I mean, 890 is basically all open spaces, but the Reclaimer, this thing is here to work. And over here we have the, oh, I'm gonna not say it M2 Hercules because it might be the A2, it might be the C2 with a different paint job. But the Hercules Star Lifters are vehicle transports. That will handle multiple ballistas and Nova tanks. Over to the right here, I believe this is Talon. Yeah, it's definitely a Talon. I had to think for a second because for a moment there, I wasn't 100% sure if I was looking at a Prowler or not. This actually might be a Shrike. I'm not 100% sure. Oh, speaking of Nova tanks. Got the Nova tank over here. We've got, looks like the Tumbrel MT, which is the most recent Tumbrel Cyclone MT. And Cyclone, well, maybe not the MT because I could have sworn it had missiles and cannons. I only see a cannon on this one. But that is most definitely a tank. And that's the C2 Hercules guaranteed over there. Over here on a landing pad, it looks like we've got... Is that an... Yes, I think that is an Argo MPUV. A ship with almost no purpose right now because you don't have any ability to set courses and it has no quantum drive. It's being hyped as a shuttlecraft sort of deal, but it's kind of hard to actually use for anything. Over here, it looks like we have one of the 100 Origin 100 units. It's not the 100i, it might be the 125. It's hard to tell with the paint job. Let's see, is there another, there's another landing pad around here, but I don't know if there's anything on the landing pad. I see a Hornet in the distance, which is a medium fighter. Respectable. Oh, hold on, I gotta wipe off this visor, it's getting messy. And it looks like I'm not going to be able to get nearly all of it. There might be a bug involved in the visor, actually. It's chilly. And I'm definitely feeling iced up on the visor. I think I better go into somewhere that has, you know, something temperate before and kind of melt it off before we continue looking around. Melt the ice. Melt the ice. Just for giggles, I wonder if I can actually access my Valkyrie from here. More importantly, if I can actually put in the... Nope, it still has 28 here. Aesop says 30. This has 28. Let me know when you're about to wrap up. Gotta stream scum after you finish. Well, let's see. What does our magic clock say? Our magic clock says 2:56, so you know what? I believe we will be wrapping things up very, very soon. I may stick around the ship show, see what else comes around, but I think I've pretty much showed off everything involving the Valkyrie that I wanted to show off today. And had the opportunity to, you know, come here to Microtech and demonstrate that players are still the best content here because they will do things like this. Yeah, no, I wasn't trying to shut you up. Nah, it's just that 3 o'clock p.m. local is when I usually wrap things up for my streams, and I don't think there's really a whole lot more to go on here today. So, for those of you who enjoy Star Citizen, I hope you've enjoyed the show today. I always enjoy putting the stream up and showing off various aspects of Star Citizen. Hopefully, in a few weeks, we will be able to see 3.14 and see how life has really changed. I will, of course, be streaming Star Citizen again next Saturday at 1 o'clock p.m. Eastern to approximately 3 o'clock p.m. Eastern. Hey, you're welcome, Cap, and thank you, Legend. Always glad to have you guys on. I will also be doing Star Trek Online streams on Wednesday nights at 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern to approximately 10 o'clock p.m. Eastern. So if you have an interest in the whole Star Trek thing, no matter what show you like best, feel free to stop by and say hello. Looks like we got another ship that just landed over here. What just landed? I just want to find out now that I've seen it. I always gotta know. Looks like a Star Runner. Yes, there we go. Thank you all very much for watching, whether you're watching this live or you're watching the video on demand at YouTube or on Twitch. This is Korath Landwalker signing off.